football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Ipswich Buses pre-game show. I am your host this evening. I am the Gov, and I hope we are all well. It is 1 minute past 7. It is 4 minutes away from kickoff. Just going to try and change my background for you so we know it's the pre-game show to Lincoln. As you will see, I am not at the Sir Ralph Ramsey statue, sadly. I am at home. But we are still going to bring you the fun and hopefully discuss 3 mighty points for the Super Blues. And of course, half-time, we'll do a half-time 10 minutes. And at full-time, the full-time fans react show where it's your chance to have your say on your platform, whether that's win, lose, or draw. But the draw and the defeat are not even in my mind tonight. So the team has been announced. Before I bring the team news in, we've got Rob Smith, happy with changes, great options again from the bench, and Sarah Davis, who I hope is very well. Good evening, all. Another must-win for us watching from home today. Well, Sarah will be watching with you, and joining me this evening will be somebody else who's also at home, is, of course, Mr. Matt Phillips. Welcome in, Matt.
Hi, how you all doing?
Doing okay. I've got a bloody migraine size of...
Have you?
Oh, have I? Yeah, it's just developing behind here, and it's always a Tuesday night I get a migraine. I don't know what it is.
You normally get those after town results.
Yes, normally the pre-game, post-game show where I'm sitting here. Please don't speak loud. But no, it's pre-game today as well. But we're here. We're sticking through it. I've got the team. I'm about to put it on the screen. We have got Christian Walton, Janoy Danassian, Luke Wolfenden, George Edmondson, Wes Burns, Sam Morsey, Tyreek Backinson, Dominic Thompson, Sonny Aluko, Burson Selina, and Caden Jackson. That is your lineup versus Lincoln. What do we think of it?
Big T. It's back in the side.
Big Tyreek Backinson back in the team.
So he's obviously going to play that more anchor role, isn't he? Pick the ball up from the 3 at the back, feed it to Morsey. You know, A to B, get it to blue shirts, get the attack going that way. Caden is now the undroppable man.
Caden Jackson, the undroppable man.
Unbelievable. Who would have thought that at the start of the season?
Well, this is it. So, first of all, Blaze Dog is leading the way. He's already seated at Putman Road, but he's got us on. That is what you can do, you see. You can take us into the stadium. Blaze Dog's got it right.
I couldn't even WhatsApp you, and you was on the road next to me when I was in Portman Road. He's obviously got a good coverage on his phone.
Must win today. Another goal from Morsey. Chris says, shame about Piggott not getting a chance to add his impressive showing on Tuesday. The fellows at the statue. Well, I do apologise. I haven't announced I wasn't going to be there. It was a last minute thing from my end anyway. But we're here all the same. One up front, says Jem. Yes, I believe it will be one up front. How do you see it lining up today then, Matt?
I think it's going to... Well, in my mind, I'm thinking... Unless I've got this wrong, I'm thinking 3-4-3. So obviously we've got Walton in goal, we've got our usual back 3, Burns on the right, Thompson on the left, so they're playing almost wing back, and then Tyreek and Morsey in the middle, and then Caden down the middle, and Burst out one side and then Luke the other is what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, I think it'll be the same formation as it always is. To be honest with you, which I think will be that. With Aluko and Chaplin, Selina as your inside forwards.
Yeah. It seems to make the most sense, doesn't it? Seems to make
so Morsey and Backinson in the centre.
Yeah.
Aluko inside right or left. Selina inside left or right. Burns and Thompson as your wing backs. And Caden playing the Joe Piggott role today.
Yeah. That's going to be a pretty pacey front 3 then, isn't it? Is what we're looking at.
Well, it is. Yes. Although I would have preferred to have seen Aluko on the bench, Jackson where Aluko is, and Piggott. That same 3 as Saturday. I felt.
Yeah, that was an option, I guess. I mean, again, we were saying Sunday, weren't we? A lot of this stuff is like pre-planned, Mourinho style.
It is.
But we'll see Pickett come on in the second half. But we can only presume then there's going to be a lot of balls to feet here because it's not the tallest of front lines, is it?
It's not. So it's going to be ball defeat. You would have thought, which maybe why Luco comes in because he's a good ball player. You know, retains possession really well. Isn't the type to be harried out of it.
Selena's really showing how versatile he is, isn't he? Having like gone back into that more central role on Saturday, then being pushed forward in that last half an hour, and then finding himself, as you say, on inside left or right tonight. So, but then you'd expect that from that quality of player at this tier of football, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Better pitch tonight, says who says that? Norman Greenwald. I'm looking at it on my screen right now. I can confirm, yes, it is a much better pitch, as you would expect. Beautiful. I'm currently watching the goalkeepers warm up. Sorry,
Curtis has got a curry incoming.
Yeah, Curtis has ordered a curry for the game. He's on the veggie trail, right? So he's on the no meat meat thing. What do you have from an Indian when you're not having?
I don't know. You're the go-to man for Indian food, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm a big meat eater, so you've got lamb, chicken. Lamb, chicken, prawn is normally what the three meat options you get. Vegetable madras and poppadoms. I can't see what the point is. What's the point?
The governor's slating your dinner here, Curtis.
You might as well just have a bit of cardboard for poppadoms with some vegetables. Oh, he's shocking. Lloyd's shocked that I'm not there. I know, Lloyd, I do apologise. I wish I was, particularly if we win 3 or 4-0 like we should do.
Poor Lloyd. He was probably ready at the statue for you.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was a last-minute thing, wasn't it?
Such as his commitment. Yeah.
Oozle, Penny's. Yeah, I like paneer. Paneer's a nice cheese.
Eaty cheese.
But he didn't say paneer, Oozle. He said vegetable. If he'd said paneer, I'd have been all over it. Love it of paneer. Anyway, back to the game, back to the team. It's all a little bit sort of, the back five don't change. We need another good night from them. Lincoln obviously beat, who did they beat at the weekend? It was somebody.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Thank you very much. So that will sharpen the mind, do you feel?
I don't know. I mean, look, Lincoln went through a funny phase when we were like thinking maybe Appleton could be the next Ipswich manager. They were struggling a little bit, and they'd got rid of in the summer. What was his name? Grant, who went to Peterborough.
Yes. Yeah.
They were really struggling for goals, and they got Marquis in. Now I'm presuming I've not seen the Lincoln team yet. But I'm presuming he's in the side tonight. He's a good striker at this level. So they obviously found their goal scoring boots on Saturday, and he got 2 of the goals. But yeah, they were pretty goal shy. I mean, I think also Lincoln are kind of victims of their own success a little bit in that Appleton got them to the playoffs, probably against the odds a little bit. And then they've got rid of a couple of pivotal players. They had Brennan Johnson, didn't they, last season, I think, who's obviously impressing for Forest. So they've probably gone back to, what everyone was kind of expecting from them, in that they're probably, middle to lower end of the table. But this is a game really we should be winning. If again, we always keep saying this, don't we? At Portman Road, under lights, you've got aspirations of chipping away at this deficit that we keep having, 6-7 points, whatever it is. Really got to turn up. Yeah, really got to turn up this evening. But I mean, again, we won quite comfortably, I think, on Saturday. In that, we seem to be in third gear for the whole game. I know the first half wasn't that impressive, and I was, even though Piggott looked good. Everyone was acclimatised into the pitch a little, I think. And as you rightly said on Sunday show, changed it all up, gave the Fleetwood backline a different test, and suddenly it was 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good tactical change. Maybe we'll see a little bit of that again this evening. But it's obviously the last Tuesday night game, unless we make the playoffs under the lights at Portman Road. So you want to finish on a bit of a bang. Louis Fenton, how has that happened? I come on Saturday and said we should play Selena and Luca behind Jackson, and it's actually happened. Louis, can you please note down the 6 lottery balls, please, for tomorrow night, as you appear to be onto something?
So Marquis is playing tonight.
Yes, Lincoln have some good players. Marquis, Maguire, Bridcup, Bishop will be a tough Bishop.
He's on the bench.
Of
No
course he
Bridcup
is.
that I can see. He is a good player, Bridcup. I remember he was I think he was
Liam Bridcup, isn't it?
Yeah, he was. He's not playing that I can see. But he was at Chelsea originally, and then he had quite a good spell at Brighton, I think.
Yeah, he was at Brighton.
I always thought he was a player that could have suited our midfield, but there you go.
Yeah, Kurt Shates as leader of the leader of the Backinson Ballon d'Or Association. I'm hoping for a 10 out of 10 from Big T.
Big T, yeah.
Big T. Right, league table.
I don't know why people keep having a go at him a little bit. I think he's good. In that, it was always a bugbear of my dad's when we were there. He's like, why can the midfield never find another blue shirt? And he does that really well. He's literally rotating the ball around, isn't he? He's like as you like to say, Martin, he's like a recycler.
He is. He's a recycler.
That's his job. That's just his job. Don't expect anything else from him. He might have a little shot like he did at Morecambe. He's very unlucky not to score.
He's a slightly upgraded version of the Luke Heim recycler 2.0. This is now the Tyreek Backinson recycler 3.0. He's a little bit more expansive with the way you can recycle possession. That's
I think he's pretty more comfortable on the ball. He's not a tougher tackler as Heim, is he?
Well, hang on. This is where people have taken. You're getting it twisted. We've always liked Backinson, myself and Rich. It's when you call him the physical presence, and now you're saying he can't tackle as hard as Luke Heim. So is he a physical presence?
I don't need to break any legs. Like Luke Heim.
I mean, Jesus. All right, Christ, take it to the extreme. Poor Judgy.
Poor
Judgy.
I thought he had a real good presence about him in the midfield at Doncaster. That's what I meant by that. And I think I gave him man of the match in that game. Well, he scored in that game, didn't he? Actually. Got the winning goal, didn't he?
He did. Great goal it was. Worldy of a goal it was.
Yeah.
Took it on the chest, volleyed it from 40 yards. Well, that's at least what I tell my grandchildren.
Yeah. Other than he was actually there at the right place and 2 yards. Kind of goals I used to like scoring those. But But I think in that particular game, he stepped into where we'd been missing Morsey. That bit of I personally felt he had a bit of a presence in that game and was one of the reasons. It was 3 points. He was there. He was Johnny on the spot, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Rax Max is not feeling it today. Playing quick, front set up wrong with a team that may sit back. I'm not in the Jackson camp. Doesn't do it for me. Would prefer Norwood or Bomb, but best of luck to Jackson.
Well, he's in, Rax, he's in form, isn't he? He had a great performance against Burton at Pullman Road, and then he maybe the keeper should have saved the one at Fleetwood on Saturday. But again, he was there in the right spot. Lovely through ball from Selena. Hopefully we can see more of that this evening.
Well, this is it. I'm firmly in the Caden Jackson camp, but at the moment, out of the names that Rax Max has mentioned, the informed striker is Caden Jackson.
It's Caden Jackson. You've got to go. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's interesting. We can come back to this point, don't we? That you never quite know what the three is going to be up top. We're starting now to see, other than maybe away from home, we're now starting to see a little bit of more people in positions now, aren't we? You know what one's going to be the keeper. You know who the back three is going to be. Wes Burns and Dominic Thompson seem to be the two win backs, I'm going to call them. It's just the other three, isn't it? We know the two in the middle are. It's just who the other three are going to be. But, I mean, look, Jackson seems to be cementing in a bit of a place now.
We'll know more next year, regardless of what division we're in, obviously, because we'll know whether McKenna actually truly does fancy the rotation, game by game, opposition by opposition, or if it was more of a, situation of no one was really sticking themselves above each other to stake the claim.
It could be a bit of both right now.
But it's not something you can argue. It's not something you can answer right now, is it? That's the thing, because you don't have enough evidence.
Come the summer. Come the summer, we'll know if he goes out and suddenly says Norwood can go. We'll take a fee for Jackson. I Rich and me have been saying we feel like Jackson's probably going to stay just because McKenna's been so glowing of him, hasn't he? I think Piggott will stay as well. I mean, look, what if you look at it on paper, what kind of club's going to pay a fee for someone in contract? He's got 2 goals, one of which is a debatable own goal and a penalty. But
the only thing is, Caden Jackson's not got an extension. He's not got an option because this is the option to his original contract. So when he's out of contract in this summer, he's out of contract. So if he's played well or playing well, I'm not saying we won't be able to afford his services. Of course I'm not. I'm just saying you may price yourself out of him in the sense of, is he worth if he's going to be a bit player next year? Because with Piggott still on the books under a contract, that may play into it because you can't please everybody, and if Caden's going to play a quarter of the games, you got to weigh up the ROI. return of investment on it.
I think maybe once we know what division we're in, say, we'll probably know that over the next couple of weeks, most probably.
Agreed.
If we fall away, then you might see him get a new deal. But I'm pretty, as we keep saying, if we did get into the championship, go into the playoffs, suddenly then you're shopping in a bigger
God. Yeah, if we're promoted, then I don't think any of the strikers stay.
No. Which is well, it's we're kind of dangling a carrot there, aren't we? Because suddenly, you feel like you could probably entice people that are on the bench in the Premier League to come down to us in the Championship. But...
Well, and none of them are good enough in the champ. Like we're all living in if, buts, and maybes, and this is a big dream. But before we move on, I suppose back to reality. If you were promoted, Caden Jackson, for me, has proved he is probably not going to cut it in the Championship. On a basis, you need to stay in the division, let alone.
That's it, though. He got links with Bournemouth, who have obviously been top end of the Championship, so they obviously saw something in him, didn't they? And Huddersfield as well. But yeah, I mean, we can't really go on his previous spell in the Championship because he was like a fish out of water, albeit he scored a couple of good goals, didn't he? But you talk about if, buts, and maybes. That's basically been Ipswich's life as an Ipswich Town supporter's life for the last 20 years. If we could do that, but if only that had happened, well, maybe this will happen.
There's only limited teams in English football where that isn't the case. I know, and now Man United are sampling a little bit of the delights that the rest of us have sampled for the last 30 years. Where you're disappointed most match day evenings, not rejoicing. It's a new world for them, and it's quite fun watching them figure it out.
I wonder what Everton fans are feeling like at the moment. They've got such a terrible run-in.
Did you see the Championship tweeted Everton?
Was that?
The Championship Twitter account tweeted Everton.
Oh, did they?
It said, "Hi, Everton," and a wave.
God, no need for that, is there?
Savage. Norman, back as more comfortable being trolled by an actual official account.
They've been relegated, have they? I don't think they've ever been relegated out of the top flight, Everton. Imagine that. Suddenly go from playing Fleetwood to playing Everton, potentially.
This is it. Backers is looking more comfortable in the lineup, says Norman. Robert Wilson, Aluka, and Selena McKenna changes it again. Kieran Highgard, trying to say well done for landing the channel of women, also men. From last night's stream was brilliantly done. Kieran, we tried to be the most inclusive platform we can possibly be. It was absolutely my pleasure to sit and listen to three very knowledgeable Town fans. They were great.
What pod was?
Yes, Francine crossing the divide, crossing the picket line.
So good. So good.
Curtis Yates, I'm not confident on 3 points tonight, so that means we'll get 3 points. Rejoice.
Curtis is never confident. He'll be fine once his curry turns up, I'm sure.
He bloody won't be after judging what he's ordered. Good grief. Mike the Fisherman, I'm so glad Pigs is not starting. That lineup is more than capable of scoring. Surely if Pigs played that well, he'd start tonight. Mike, my thoughts are with you today, but you are wrong. Lloyd, I like the lineup. I hope Jax does a good game. And then Curtis says, different system, Mike. Nothing to do with Pigs not having a good game. Has Joe Pigott got a right to feel a little bit aggrieved that currently sat on Town's bench?
Maybe, but he hasn't scored either, has he? And Caden is scoring, so.
But then Luca's not scored since October either.
No. But again, it comes down to what is their objective when they're told in the dressing room, this is what we want you to do. As we said Sunday, I keep feeling like fans are measuring them by different yardsticks what the coaching staff is, But it's hard to leave Caden out at the moment. And obviously there must be a game plan around pace tonight, which is why I think Selena's going to get pushed forward with Shawnee and Caden, yeah.
Sure. You're still persisting with that then?
Well, he told me that was his name many years ago. I can't even know what he told me.
You're still persisting with the Shawnee, not the Sun.
Unless I've been saying it wrong all these years.
He was just winding you up, I'm sure.
It could well have been.
Maybe these players have got these little jokes they do at little games. How many times can you get the Wally from the FA to say your name wrong?
Someone else told me that he has told people their different way of saying his name at all the clubs. Like he had a different name pronunciation at Aberdeen, for example.
There you go.
Or maybe that was just a Scottish accent. Who knows?
You did have a reputation, I hear, being a Wally at the FA. So, Chris Boyd, if McKenna managed to keep us in contention whilst working through all that possible combinations, then when he finally settled in his favoured front three, the last 6 games could be quite exciting. If we're still in the hunt, come the last 6. Mike, maybe Pickett could sign for Man United. Could be the next Ronaldo. He always likes to take it from one extreme to the other, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No chill with Mike. Absolutely zero. Right. League table. Let's have a quick butchers and quick look in. We are obviously currently sat in 9th. We've been in 9th since the day I was born. 56 points.
Who's just above us? Plymouth.
Plymouth, Sunderland,
So they've got
and
Wimbledon tonight. You'd
Wednesday.
imagine that's going to be 3 points for them, wouldn't you?
This evening, Crew are at home to Portsmouth. We need something from Raheem Harper. We've got Plymouth at home to AFC Wimbledon. Southend at home. Southend. That's a flashback. Sunderland at home to Fleetwood. So, Plymouth and Sunderland obviously are the two major games there to keep an eye on. A Portsmouth defeat would also be quite nice, to be fair, Matt, because that would also give us, a team that's got 2 games in hand. Can you believe on us?
And
a little bit of a That is a huge game Saturday because they're 2 games back, and they could be only a point or 2 back. If they win, I'd put them in big driving seat for the playoffs.
Would you?
I would. 2 games in hand.
Yeah, funny team, Portsmouth, weren't they? They were 3-0 down at home to Fleetwood. Then we were Sunday, only the other week. Then we were Sunday game. Fleetwood have got any strikers.
If they win their game, it's all if buts and maybes. If they win those 2 games in hand, Matt, they're only a point outside the playoffs. So, it's one of those false.
Traffic is a nightmare. The crunch is selling us.
It is. It was a big red line on my Google map. So another reason why I decided this migraine.
You can guarantee if I'd been there tonight, I'd have been in that traffic jam and
we all would have. I spoke to Andy, the goat's son, and he wasn't at the ground yet, and he was offering me services to help me bags from the car. I was thinking, Andy, 1 minute he said, "Do you want any help with the bags from the car?" And I said, not really coming. Traffic's a nightmare. Blah blah blah. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm not there myself yet." I thought, well, it's a bit lucky I'm not there, then, ain't it, Andy? Really? Because what else would you have been?
Counts, isn't it?
How would you have helped my bags? Love Andy. Great lad. Chris Boyd, nice touch tonight that we're all blue and Lincoln yellow. Yes, touch on that, please, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, it's interesting this because I seem to recall back with when England wanted to wear the poppy on the shirt, and it was seen as like a political. It was seen as like a political thing by UEFA, FIFA, whoever it might have been at the time. It was kind of scorned upon. So, I mean, it's nice to see that, with the Football League or whoever is giving the go-ahead for these kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? These kind of, help me out here, Mike. What's the word I'm looking for? Gestures. These gestures of support. That's the word I'm looking for. Gestures of support. But yeah, I would have said a few years ago, it probably wouldn't have been allowed. Like I say, it was really difficult for England just to wear a poppy on their shirt in November.
Yes, I remember that. The poppy, yes. Yeah. You couldn't. It was, yes, I remember that.
In the end, but any form of sort of like a political gesture wasn't really the done thing. But times have changed since then, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Matt Johnson helped me out. He's put gestures in.
He has. Matt was more awake than I was. That migraine was getting to me a moment there. My brain froze. Those little skits in The Simpsons when they come to Homer and his brain is just like they're playing the da 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 da. That was like my brain there for a moment. It's da 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 da. I just
skipping through a world of chocolate.
I was hearing the words, but washing over me really. I wonder if tonight we'll have Knobgate 2.0, or if you'll be a bit more calmer and keep things on the level. Obviously, the last Tuesday night game we had Crunch with Knobgate. Will it be Knobgate 2.0 tonight?
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, well, we didn't even lose that game, you might recall.
We drew 0-0.
Yeah. Well, passions were running high. Probably less said about that, the better now. We've moved on. A week's a long time in football. We've moved on.
Absolutely. Mike D making a great point. Well, making a point. I'll let you at home decide if it's a great point or not. But enough of the politics. Moving back to the football. Let's have some predictions on this evening then. What's the score going to be? Who's my goal scorers? And Mike the Fishman asks, is Marlon Harewood starting tonight? No, but would Marlon Harewood be in your Ipswich Town Masters team, Matt?
No. No, he wouldn't.
It'd be in the Fisherman's.
That said, though, he did score a blinding goal when West Ham got to the FA Cup final. I think it was the semi-final at Villa Park. Absolute rip roar of a goal. So tonight,
that Marlon Harewood miss though. I do feel sorry for him every time I see it because he's got to run full pelt with the ball in the air, and you got to be acutely aware there's a fucking great metal post coming ever so closer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in the end, your brain takes over more for the fear of smashing into a metal post. By the way, if you've played football, you'll know what that feels like if you've done it, or even know what it it is. So I feel sorry for him. I see it isn't that much. Isn't that easy of a chance? Not like he's under the crossbar and scooped it over, a la Jason Dezelle.
I feel like if Talking Town had been going in the late 90s, you'd have been upset by that, miss.
Cruncher would have just ripped him apart. Cruncher would have just ripped him a new one.
Yeah, I would imagine Crunch was there that day and probably did. So, scores. That's what we were, weren't we?
See? Like the Fishman. Bloody hurt them posts. I've got shin marks
there
from
you
them.
go.
Absolutely. Chris Boyd, how about we actually get an early goal for a change? Let's not be put through the ringer.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Anyway, it's Tuesday night.
We did score an early goal against Burton, of course, inside a minute.
We did. Say hello to Neil Moles. If you see him at Portman Road tonight, he's at the game, and Steve is moving. Moving house. Good old Steve. So that's why I've got Matt for if you're just tuning in on a Tuesday and thinking, well, Steve or Neil's changed.
Option.
Yeah, actually you were D, but never mind.
Probably E. I'm going to be Z option in a minute.
On the bench.
I do feel like the only reason we probably drew that game with Cheltenham on that 0-0 a couple of weeks ago was because Burns didn't score early doors. I feel like Cheltenham wouldn't have been able to play their game plan a little bit. I think Lincoln will be a bit more attacking tonight. But if we can get an early goal inside the first 15, 20, that'd be brilliant. Because obviously then forces Lincoln's hand a little bit. I think we'll probably win 2-0. The clean sheets will continue and we'll have a goal in each half is what I'm going to say. And I reckon Caden will score. And I reckon Selena will score.
Caden to score and Selena to score. Yeah. Who is your first goal scorer?
Caden.
So Caden to score first.
Yes.
And Selena for an any time.
Yeah. Is that your bet?
Okay. That's what I'm asking you.
You sticking a 10 spot down, are you?
Well, I might be looking at the odds or trying to find the odds.
Boxing shows. None of my predictions have come true yet.
No. So Lincoln versus Ipswich. I'm just looking. It's quite interesting. I've never done this on a show before. I'm actually going to look. So you've got scorecast.
Jackson to score first at 2-0.
Jackson to score first. I mean, that's not going to be great odds, that is it? Let's be honest. Because Jackson's a striker, and you would expect Caden Jackson.
We haven't scored many goals this season, though, have we? Really? As Rich keeps pointing out, we've had 20 of our goals have come in like 4 matches.
Caden Jackson to score in town to win is 5-1. Score first in town to win is 5-1.
There you go.
If you fancy some,
I'm not going to put any money down, but feel free.
I wouldn't either. So, Luke Wolfenden to score first in town to win 28-1. If you fancy tonight being the night from a corner, 28-1 is not a bad little odd.
Corners, aren't we?
Absolutely. Mike D. Wednesday, a lot of possession against Lincoln on Saturday. We need to make the most of our chances. John Couch has gone 2-0. Aluko and Jackson. Good God, that would be a hell freezing of a moment. Aluko getting a goal. That's madness. Rax Max head says 1-1, but heart hopes for a 4-0. But as my missus thinks I'm heartless, a draw it is.
Glass half empty. What's going on?
Perhaps that's Curtis's alter ego, and he's realised he's ordered a vegetarian curry.
Yeah, could well be.
I'd be miserable as well. You know,
I think 2-0 is a good prediction tonight.
See, I think Max is close. I think what Rax should do is take his head at 1-1, take his heart at 4-0, and just make it 4-1. And he's probably got himself a nice little prediction there that keeps the heart and the head happy. Right, Mike D. Chance to score from a corner, 1,000-1.
It's Mike's own odds, that I think.
Tell you what, but if it wasn't, I'd put £1 on that. Fuck me. I mean, we know we're bad, but that's worth.
Lewis Benton's been drinking 5-0.
He's been
Jackson hat-trick
on the drinks already. Yeah.
He says "Viva la veggie." Can I presume it's turned up?
Viva la veggie. Yeah. Let us know what it's like. Darren, so an early goal to settle the nerves. Right, well, it's 7:30. We are 15 minutes away from kickoff. Grab your Bovril, grab your coffee, or if you're at home, grab a cup of tea and a nice slice of cake.
Does anyone drink Bovril at home? Can you even buy Bovril in shops? I've never even looked.
No, I'm all right, thanks. I'd rather
Is it
not.
just a football stadium drink?
What is it? What even is it?
Rich had one when we went to MK Dons. It smells like Marmite to me.
You're just drinking gravy, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, no, yeah. I'm all right. Anyway,
are we back at half time?
We were back at half time. Didn't set a like title, but we'll be back at half time regardless.
Come and see us.
10 minutes. We'll give you 10 minutes. One player playing well, one player not playing well. And then we'll be back at full time for the Fans React show. There is a poll in the chat now.
What
score will Town win by? Get voting. Callie says 3-0 Town.
Wear a tin hat if it's 0-0 full time.
Hey, doesn't matter if you're there, here, anywhere in the world. You're welcome on this platform. It's lovely. Gravy water, says Curtis. Oh.
At the cricket today, they put the Barmy Army on Twitter, put the menu of what they were selling in Antigua at the cricket restaurant in the stadium. One of the items was goat water, which is apparently goat stew. They called it goat water. Yeah.
That probably sounds quite nice.
Yeah, I could imagine you probably having that. Yeah.
2-0 Town win. Has currently got 45% of the vote share.
Matt has never seen, but I've never looked for it, Rax. I've never looked for Bovril. I go straight to Yorkshire tea. That's my go-to normally.
Is it actually in Super? I mean, I just go to Nescafe, pick it up. Nescafe have got the competition running again for the Red Cups.
Hey,
get back in my life.
One, have you?
Yeah, I might just write to them desperately and plead that.
Yeah,
I had two, but they both broke. Right, we're done. We're back at half time. Until then, up the Town. 3 points incoming.
Enjoy the game, everyone.
I'm going for some paracetamol. Right, here we go.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without.
Rob Smith, top shelf. Can't see it. That's why you can't see it, Matt. It's the top shelf.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.